It's Wednesday morning, December 4th, 2019, and I'm at OK Four-Wheel Drive in Stewartsville, New Jersey. This is it, the moment I've been waiting for. I'm going to be dropping my Jeep off here for a little bit to get some tender loving care, and I don't yet know what that entails, but I'm going to figure that out really soon and through the course of the coming week.
It doesn't actually feel that bad, Chris.
I know.
For being well worn, you know?
And that's what I think as well. It's just when I see the footage before I make my video, I'm looking at the drive-bys and it's making all kinds of horrible noises.
Stock control arms all the way around too.
Yeah, original too.
AV 5100 still?
Yep. They've been great.
Have you put steering in it?
The steering has been refreshed.
Okay.
So the components are should still be pretty good.
Okay. OE style?
Yes. That check engine light comes on
seasonally?
No, this has been coming on regularly, but the check engine light comes on probably about 10 minutes after it's been driving pretty consistently. So it's not critical because check engine lights, are usually not important.
Gives you that warm glow on the dash.
Yeah. I don't see smoke. Should be good.
Yeah, I mean, we'll take it all apart and check it out. I mean, did they replace the parking shoes when they did the rear brakes?
The parking shoes were replaced pretty recently, I think.
E-brake works well?
No. So, as far as wear and tear goes, I suspect suspension components and possibly bearings or U-joints.
I would say control arms should be worn out by this point. Like,
yeah.
Not to failure, but to
slop.
Yeah, I would say that. But even shocks, I mean, they are a wear item, but nothing really feels that bad. Yeah, that you could hear.
Yeah.
This is a good road for shaking stuff loose. You want to switch? And I'll go out?
Yeah. I know at the very least there's a rear sway bar end link that's shot.
Okay, fair.
You want to stay with it or should I back all the way up?
I would do that same little run. I'll go right up by that giant pothole.
Okay.
Yeah, there's something very loose in the front. Wow, the original ball joints. It's pretty impressive.
Also, ever since the accident, this door has a much nicer, solid feel.
German inspired. This would be perfect. And then all the exhaust. So you ever see what Dave did on the Outpost too? He drilled and ran the exhaust into the stock tailpipe. So it's like a pipe and then there's a smaller pipe within it. It looks super good and clean.
One consideration I had was if it was fender mounted, this window doesn't need to be a window. It can be a flat panel with exhaust ports in it.
And the outlet, I was thinking if we hole and then that flex pipe inside of that taillight housing and then come right to it.
Ren and I are discussing the viability of a gasoline heater, how to install it, where to route it, because with the auxiliary gas tank that I recently had installed, it makes a great fuel supply for something like this.
You can curve them over like a surface, like if it was like a teardrop. But as far as those ribs, they're not going to be able to close that up. I mean, I've glued, like the Alu-Cab has a tread plate, and it glues to that fine.
Yeah.
I really like the fact that we're not gluing it to the roof, but we're having to drill it.
Yeah.
If the boat's loose, we could pop it off. But yeah, I mean, it fits the space. We'll just make a piece of sheet metal, and then we'll just basically bolt the sheet metal across these two rails.
Okay.
And yeah, glue it right to that. So we could always interchange it. We could always change later on. Because the ribs make it so difficult to put one big panel down.
Yeah, yeah.
simple. Pretty straightforward. I mean, no frills, but they just work. Like, they don't go bad, and they're extremely efficient.
Okay. So that was my morning at OK Four-Wheel Drive, mostly hanging out with Rin and brainstorming about improvements. But I'm going to leave the Jeep in their care now, and we're definitely moving forward with the general maintenance. I think we're definitely going to do the solar solution, and the gasoline heater is a maybe. The unit we're looking at is a Webasto Airbox 2000, and it would definitely be a luxury item. It's a 12-volt gasoline heater that would draw from my auxiliary gas tank, and it would sip fuel to keep the inside of a Jeep at a comfortable 60 degrees or really however warm I want it to be. It's a lot of heater for such a small space. But they're going to look into the feasibility of that, see what all is involved, and get back to me. So that's not a done deal yet, but I'll let you know what we figure out. It's Sunday morning at Rausch Creek Off-Road Park in central Pennsylvania, and I'm out here getting to know OK Four-Wheel Drive's Chevy Colorado ZR2 Bison with the Alu-Cab camper. I brought it here to run some trails, to get acquainted with the vehicle and get to know its four-wheel drive system, and to get a feel for its limits. And right off the bat I ran into an issue at this frozen water hole on the pole line. I drove in slowly to test the depth, and then I deemed it too deep, so I started backing up, and something was already wrong. It felt like my steering wasn't doing very much. And indeed, it is not. The front tires are towed out. Something in the steering system broke right off the bat. Okay, I'm gonna be able to get it like this, but I think the screwdriver is too big. No, maybe not. There we go.
Oh, it does look like you're unthreaded.
Oh
my god. Your teeth are all screwed up. It wasn't in right to begin with. It's only quarter threaded. It ripped the threads out of it. So did they put this stuff on after?
I don't think so. I think that's from the factory. I don't.
I'd take pictures of that.
They've unthreaded from the rack on the passenger side. They're on their way with new parts, so it should be good. Worst case scenario, I got my truck and trailer here. Thanks, Kyle. Ice. This is not the first time that I've had an ice-related mishap. I'm not a fan. Rin from OK Four-Wheel Drive, the owner of this truck, who was thrilled that I woke him up this morning with some bad news, is on his way with some replacement parts. So I'm optimistic and should be up and running in another few hours.
As the kids say, Sunday fun day. Oh. It's really not that bad. stopped at Advanced and AutoZone, and it's OE only because it's too new.
Yeah.
So, being Sunday.
As it turns out, the inner rod end is a dealer-only item, still a relatively new vehicle. So it's Sunday. The plan is Rin's doing a trail repair, cleaning up the threads just so we can get it on the trailer, and then we're taking it back to New Jersey and do a proper fix. Is it going in? Okay.
Yeah, by hand. Done all the way in.
The elephant in the room. You're fixing my vehicle and I'm breaking yours. Obviously the ice provoked it enough to pop out, but this is...
I think it was on a timer and it was going to come out. I'm glad it came out going 0 miles an hour versus on a highway like right now.
Well, thank you, because when it happened I was like, okay, now what? Yeah, thank you for taking your Sunday.
No worries.
It's Sunday night and I'm back at OK Four-Wheel Drive in New Jersey, camped out on their property in the truck, which isn't quite according to plan, but I'm very thankful that Rin came out to get me today. I did want to show you around the truck and the Alu-Cab canopy camper a little bit more today, but I sort of got in trouble right off the bat, so right now I'm just going to focus on getting it back on the road, and then I'll show you more as the week unfolds. It's Monday morning at OK Four-Wheel Drive, and they called around for the parts, the inner rod end for the Chevy ZR2, and the closest sources are in Georgia and Illinois. So that means that part would not get here today, and I'm trying to decide, do I wait around for them to fix the Chevy, or do I take the Toyota Tacoma that's in the showroom behind me? I think I'm going to take the Tacoma. Alright, before I drive off in the Tacoma, I need to show you this custom marine grade fireplace fueled by propane that Rin installed in the back of the Chevy ZR2 Bison. And it's very efficient. He has an 11-pound bottle of propane, and from what I've heard, this burns 1 pound of propane every 7 hours on high. So I used this all last night, and it was so comfortable. But it's totally safe. The intake and the exhaust are on this exterior mounted pipe, so there's no carbon monoxide or dangerous fumes emitted into the camper. And again, this is not an option from Alu-Cab. Rin bought the unit and then adapted it to fit the camper, and it fits in this space perfectly. While I was at the shop, I had the unexpected chance to see the Jeep and get an update on that. And they said that overall, considering how many miles it has on it and the kind of life that it lives, that it's in relatively good condition. But there is a lot of wear and tear. The rear brakes are shot, particularly the e-brake pads, the e-brake cable shot, sway bar end links are shot. The control arm bushings are shot, the rear axle bearings are smoked. They did some work already, but they've got a box of new components that they're going to bolt on over the course of the next week or two. It's Monday night, and right now I'm on I-81 South in Pennsylvania, heading toward Monongahela National Forest in West Virginia. There's a part of the forest down there that I haven't explored yet, and I've been looking forward to doing so. I'm keeping food simple because I'll be back at my parents' by the end of the week, so I don't need a lot. I just tossed in my gear from the other truck, so I can barely get back to the refrigerator. But if I lived in here, I'd use all these storage compartments instead of having my stuff strewn everywhere. It's Tuesday morning, December 10th, and I found a beautiful spot to spend the night in central West Virginia, although it's a bit of a rainy day. But this is my first proper experience in the Alu-Cab canopy camper, and right off the bat, I absolutely love being able to open up these side panels and just have an open air experience. Now this is the very same camper that they have on the back of the Chevy Colorado that I broke. The only difference is this one has a more finished interior with a refrigerator, goose gear cabinetry, Although this one does not have the very slick fireplace that Ren installed. All right, let's take advantage of the rainy day and do some exploring. Stunning overlook in Monongahela. I didn't expect to be able to see this much today, but the wisping clouds are absolutely amazing. It is 3 p.m. and I'm gonna lose daylight soon, so I need to find a place to camp. And not here, because it feels like it's 15 to 20 degrees colder up here than it is down in the valley. This Snow Peak sandwich maker thing was a gift from a friend, and I'm gonna give it a go. It came with recipes, but this is the first time I'm using it, so I'm gonna start with something simple. This was quick, easy, clean, and I recorded video without things catching on fire. So this is a win. I know I shouldn't be surprised because it's been raining all day and the temperature dropped, but we have light snow accumulation. I've spent the night in far colder conditions than this, but this feels colder than ever because I have no means of heating the camper. With the Jeep, I can turn it on, run the heat for half an hour, and be nice and cozy before bed, but this, it's just cold. Just bundle up and make do. Cold. Winter camping in a box like that really demands some sort of auxiliary heat. It's probably the perfect application for one of those propane buddy heaters. So I slept great last night. I was very warm in my sleeping bags. It's just that when I woke up, I didn't have any warm place to go. So I quickly made coffee and heated up the truck and I'm gonna get to exploring. I just found this amazing Forest Service campsite next to a small pond. It's perfect. I'm not going to spend the night here because it's still morning, but I'm definitely marking it on the GPS. Campsite, another camping area. I'm finding a lot of very good dispersed camping areas in this portion of Monongahela National Forest. It's like a honeypot. An old fire tower. It's missing some steps and some platforms, so it's long defunct. It's frozen at the top. I'm at the campground sitting in the cab of the truck because it's 27 degrees out and it's cold back there. There's nothing I can do to heat it up, except for maybe cook something in the stove. While I have no immediate plans to replace the Jeep with something else, I am always asking myself, alright, what comes next? And this is entirely personal preference, but I'm a little bit reluctant to switch to a pickup truck-based platform with a camper mounted in the bed. And right now I feel that way mostly because of the issue I'm having with the freezing temperatures. But there are solutions that solve that problem, so that's not a good excuse. However, I utilize my vehicle for driving just as much as I do for living. And I ran into a situation today where I used a vault toilet, and afterward I wanted to clean my hands. So I get into the cab and then I realize, oh, my wipes are in the back. So I grab the keys, unlock the back door, climb in, get the wipes, and then I bring them up front here. I can see that happening a lot. There's going to be something in this space that I need in the back, and then there's something in the back that I need in this space. And it's just a little thing that would take some getting used to, but I would much rather have a camper that shares living space with the cab. Three pairs of pants on, and 3 pairs of socks. With a heat source, in this case my stove, it's really cozy and comfortable in here. Thursday morning on my way to Lewisburg, West Virginia, looking for coffee. First and foremost, coffee. It's extremely important to me for my videos that vehicles and gear don't overshadow exploration and discovery. Venture Forward is more about experiences and the places we go in our vehicles and how we use them. Now, OK builds some really eye-catching adventure mobiles with some of the latest gear, and I greatly enjoy sharing these things with you because it's fun and also to give you ideas for your own build. But I never want to imply that you need shiny bumpers or fancy gizmos to have extraordinary experiences. The best adventure mobile is the one that's sitting in your driveway right now, and all you really need are your own 2 feet and the will to explore. So it's late Thursday morning after enjoying some coffee in downtown Lewisburg, West Virginia, and I'm going to call that a wrap for this week. My next episode, the last of 2019, is on schedule for the end of this coming week, at which point I hope to have some updates on the Jeep and also share some highlights from the year. But until then, thanks for following along. I hope you enjoyed this week's adventure, and I'll catch up with you again next week.